Hi friends, it's Mrs. Canada with this week's Sabbath story. Do you know what holiday we celebrated this week? It was Veterans Day. Do you know what a veteran is? A veteran is someone who serves our country in the military. They might be in the Army or the Navy, the Marines, the Coast Guard, any of those branches of our country's military, and they work to keep us safe. Well, at our church, we celebrated the veterans, and they were all sharing stories about their experiences in the military. And a friend of mine told me a miracle story of how she was saved 2 times. I want to tell you about her story from Afghanistan. She was over there serving, and one day she was walking to the mess hall. Do you know what the mess hall is? That's where they eat their food, their meals. And she was walking up to the mess hall when she heard a loud sound, and she looked up to see what it was. And do you know what was coming toward that building? It was a rocket. A rocket had been launched, and it was headed straight for the building. And so she did what she'd been taught to do, and she fell to the ground and protected herself. And then when she thought all the explosions had stopped, she got up and she looked around, and she hurried over to the mess hall to see if the people inside were okay. But when she got to the door, the soldiers there said only medics are allowed inside. And so she waited, and the soldier looked down at her and said, "Is that your blood on the front of your uniform?" And she looked, and sure enough, she hadn't realized it. She'd been in shock with all the things going on, but she had been hit by a part of that explosion right in her stomach, in her abdomen. And so immediately they tried to get her medical attention, and they took her to a hospital in Afghanistan, and they said, "You're going to need surgery because you have shrapnel in there." Shrapnel is a little piece of metal that came from this explosion from the rocket. And so they took my friend, and they took her and flew her to the country of Germany to a hospital where she could get better attention. And while she was there, they took her in for surgery, and she had the surgery, and when she came out, the doctor told her, "Do you know that 2 miracles have happened to you? First, you were not killed by that explosion. When the shrapnel hurt you, we were able to remove it, and you'll be okay. But secondly, if that explosion had not hit you, and we had not gone inside to take out that piece of shrapnel, we never would have found out that you had cancer." Can you believe that cancer was growing inside of her and she didn't even know? But when she had this surgery, the doctors found it, they were able to remove it, and they saved her for a second time. God worked 2 miracles for my friend, the veteran, that day. Do you know God loves to take care of his people? He watches over us whether we're in Afghanistan or Iraq or Germany or anywhere around the world, or whether we're here at home. He wants to work miracles for his people today. He wants to save us and protect us and watch over us. Happy Veterans Day!